Hi, and welcome to the End of Life Journey and Beyond, the Sands of Time. My name is Lisa Strahs-Lorenc, and I'm a bereavement specialist. Hi, how you doing, Susan?
Hi, Lisa. How are you today?
Good.
Hope you had a good holiday. I know you told me everything was wonderful on this end too. We hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm Susan Capurso, end of life doula with East End Doula Care. I specialize in creative legacy work as well. So excited about our guest today. I can't even tell you. I was thinking about this all weekend and I couldn't wait for today. So I want to introduce to everybody today Alyse Parise. She's a licensed clinical social worker in psychotherapy. Alyse guides busy, adventurous, and mature women to designing invigorating plans for their now and beyond their now through her creative and healing approaches. She's Alyse's she's a credentialed psychotherapist who's been in practice for 30 years at least. She's also a certified business coach, a collaborative divorce coach, and intentional creativity coach. I like that. Just one of Alyse's specialties I know is meditation. And it's a powerful tool for everyone to incorporate, especially a person and their family who's going through any kind of end of life situation. So we were really excited to get her to come and speak with us today about the subject. Alyse has an intriguing way of helping her clients slow down, breathe, and tap into yourself in a powerful way that you never thought was possible before. And you have a believer in me, Alyse, and thank you and welcome.
Well, I am really, really happy to be here, especially with both of you. It's wonderful.
It's nice to see you, and I am someone who has benefited from your wonderful services. So it's really nice to have you here, Alyse.
Yeah. So, the power, and I know meditation is only one of the things that you do, with many, but this is a big topic for us, Lisa and I, especially me. I mean, I've brought meditation into my life now. I would say for probably 20 years. And would I say that I'm an expert? Of course not, because you're constantly learning. And I find through my own practice, what makes it different for me now than it did so many years ago is that it used to take me a long time to breathe and to slow down and get yourself into that space, but not so much anymore for me. Now I can just within minutes take myself to that space. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I want to share about meditation is it's really, there's so many different styles and different ways. And it's really finding something that works for each of us to help slow ourselves down and bring us into the present moment. So meditation is not hiking to the top of a mountain and sitting there for hours and staying there, freezing cold, and all those different sort of images we get in some movies and what gurus do. It really is simply a way of presencing yourself. And for some people, it means sitting extremely still and breathing. And for other people, it may mean actually moving. So you believe it or not, I mean, you can meditate as you walk. Of course, you don't want to walk super fast, but if you just simply slow down your movement when you walk, that is another way of doing meditation. So there are many different ways, and I think I'm just going to share one style with you today that I found really helpful because I've had someone myself gone in and out of meditation for a zillion years. And sometimes I stay really consistent and sometimes I don't. One of the things that works for me is part of what I'm going to work with you on today. And then I go into doing a drawing process after I meditate. Some people write, some people do like artist pages, they just, free writing, free association. So if you're getting a little message or a big message about there's no one right way, I really want to make sure that everyone gets that message today.
for those people who aren't as knowledgeable, just explain the kind of benefits mentally, physically, emotionally of this process.
One of the things that anytime we can slow our breathing down, is it then, if you think about it, it's slowing down your whole internal process in your body. So it really is meditation, and slow breathing helps on a body, mind, spirit level. So it helps your body to get in sync. It helps your organs to take a rest, helps them to maximize the way they're actually working. It helps also sometimes, it's like creativity, innovation gets kicked on. It helps new ideas to be sparked. Anybody ever experienced you're in the shower? I mean, even in the shower sometimes can be quite meditative with the water, and you have this idea that just comes because you're not thinking about something so hard, and you're in this sort of multi-sensory environment with water on you, and your breathing is probably slowing down without you even realizing it. And then things just pop. So meditation is useful for so many different ways. It can be healing on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, and certainly as a de-stressor to get those cortisol levels down. Meditation is extremely helpful. And when I say meditation, I really want to get the message across that all meditation really is breathing, focusing on your breath, slowing down your breath. It's really all it's about. So we don't have to get even more complicated than that. I mean, there are mantras and words and all sorts of associations, and working with chakras, which are energy parts of the body. I mean, there's so many different styles, but basically breathing.
I have two quick examples before we move forward of different types of meditation. And I had experienced them both. So one was, I had an event to speak at. Oh, Lisa, you were at that event. And there were a few hundred people there, and I was a nervous wreck. I love doing our YouTube channel, but as far as speaking in front of really large groups, I have a hard time. Okay. And I'm in the car, and I'm feeling sick to my stomach, and I had to drive. It was about 40 minutes away. And I am so into meditations that I searched on YouTube for a driving meditation. It just came to my head that if it helps me in so many other areas, let's see what's there. Well, what comes up on YouTube but a driving meditation? And I says, I'm listening to this. I won't close my eyes, but I'm listening to this. And by the time I got to the event, I got out of my car. I brought all my things in that I had to bring in, and I walked inside. And do you know, I felt as calm as can be. It was like a switch. I was so filled with anxiety and fear. And it was like a switch. And I was calm, and I went in and I greeted people, and they greeted me. And I was like, whoa, it's so powerful to me. It's such a powerful tool. And the second thing I did one day, and then I did it many times thereafter. Before I became a doula several years ago, I worked in a big corporate office, and it was very stressful. And one day I was in tears about something, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And my car was on the top floor of a parking garage, and the sun was beating, and my car felt that heat that you feel when you get in the car, and it felt so good. And I put a guided meditation on. It was about 20 minutes. That's all it was. And I got to tell you, I walked back in that office refreshed. I felt so good, like I could conquer the world. And nothing like I felt 20 minutes prior to that. So when I realized how powerful of a tool it is for a situation like that, I started doing it more often. And I started going out on my lunch and sitting in my car and doing these meditations. And they just do wonders in your life.
Yeah, and I want to remind people too that there's a couple of apps today which are really easy to access on your phone. I like to use one called Insight Timer, INSIGHT, and it's a little brown bowl. And it has a zillion different meditations, music. I haven't put it on for the music because I love to have the music in the background, and I just go from different person to person. And then they also have lead meditations. They have a lot of different things. And then there's another one called Calm, C-A-L-M, and that's another good meditation. And there's another one recently I came across called Waking Up, wakingup.com, and it has all sorts of meditative things on it as well. I think that one's more of that one you have to pay. Some you pay a little.
Yeah,
You
some
pay
okay.
people, which I do. So yeah.
And I also recommend to my friends, there's one is a woman, she's either English or Australian, I don't know. She has a beautiful voice like you do. And it's fragrantheart.com.
Okay.
And it's a free site, and she has all different, the reasons, categories, like for health,
Right.
wellness. There's even a few cancer meditations in there. And her site is one's on relationships, and her site is completely free as well. And the meditations are usually between 10 minutes and 20 minutes. Hers are not that long, but they do the trick. And that's who I started with. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
It's lovely.
Okay. Good. So we're ready for you. You're going to guide us in something interesting?
I am. And what I'm going to do with you today is a simple way of meditating, and a way that also brings us into our body. Okay. And I thought to make this even a little more interesting, when people are watching this, if you have a piece of paper that you could pull out, any old piece of paper, and a marker, a pen, could be a colored marker if you have one, just tap that out at the end, and I'm just going to lead you in a tiny other process, like an added bonus. It would be fun. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you're seated, as long as you're not driving, do not do this while you're driving. Susan did a very special meditation that didn't ask you, obviously, to close your eyes. Also, when you're driving, you really want to pay attention. So feel yourself seated in a chair, okay? Whether you're in a couch, a chair, and I'm going to invite you to sit up straight. And so really feel your bottom supported by the chair, and feel your back lengthening as if there's a string pulling your head up to the ceiling, and your shoulders are down. So you don't want to let your shoulders go up as well. In fact, you may want to right now just pull your shoulders around and bring your shoulders down, just to relax your shoulders. It's often a place we hold tension. And then simply become aware of your breathing. The in and the out of your breath. And very slowly allow your breath to slow down. Allow yourself to feel the in of your breath, and then the out. And as you slow your breathing down to the count of about 5, imagine that you're also breathing in and out of your heart, your beautiful heart space. So as you breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out through your heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in for 5. Through your heart, and out for 5. And in for 5. And out for 5. Really feel yourself slowing your breath down in through your heart and out through your heart. And in through your heart and out through your heart. And if any thoughts come, simply allow them to flow. And bring yourself into your awareness of your heart space as you're breathing in and out. Really feeling the rise and the fall of your heart. And imagine your belly as well. That you're filling up yourself with your beautiful heart and love. And particularly on your out breath, you're massaging all your organs. Simply by breathing in and out through your heart. We're going to allow ourselves now so on your in-breath, take that up to your head, to your mind, through your heart, and then out through your mind. And breathe into that beautiful thinking space, your mind, our conscious place, that which serves us in being human. As you breathe in and out through your mind. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You may choose to breathe in through your heart and up to your mind, and then back down to your heart as well. Whatever feels right in the moment for you. Simply bringing awareness to your mind. Then let's move down into our belly. You may choose to breathe in through your heart and out through your belly. Our belly, often known as our gut, is our second brain, our gut space. Breathe in and out, being aware of your gut, your belly. Feel the in and the out of your breath through your belly. Really being aware of your body. Now let's bring our breath down into our pelvis. Breathing in and out of your pelvis. our base, the place where our sit bones reside, that which makes us male and female. Simply breathe in and out through pelvis. Your other place of strength. One more breath into your pelvis and out. Now let's bring our breath all the way from our pelvis up through our heart to our mind and down through our body. Even down to your feet as you feel your feet on the floor. Feel the connection as you breathe through your entire body. Thank your body for being part of your time to be present with yourself today. And back to your heart. Even bow to your heart right now. And bring yourself back to your awareness in your seat. And if you choose, if you have a pen and paper in front of you, I'm going to invite you to pick up your marker or your pen and just allow yourself to doodle. It's for about 30 seconds as we bring ourselves back to present time. There's no one right way here. Just allow yourself to doodle. You may find it's just shapes, or it might be a word or two. Just let the pen flow. You can leave the pen where it doesn't even lift off the page. No supposed to's here. And you can have a look at what you've drawn and see if there's anything you see. What you notice. Familiar, unfamiliar? Is there a word that wants to come forth or a phrase? And if the three of us hold up what we've drawn, we'll just see. It's so interesting to see what comes out. Be very different. I just had a black pen. Lisa, what did you have? Great.
Let me wait. I have to wait.
Get it.
I have to get it. There you go.
Okay. Ah, so yours was more like an infinity.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And Susan? Ah, what? Yes. And what did you write on it? You're muted.
Uh-huh.
That was just some of my notes from before. It was just
Okay.
really circles, mazes. I kept seeing like a maze or a journey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, when you both doodle, do you find that these shapes are familiar, or do you sometimes find yourself doodling those shapes or not?
No.
Oh, no.
Mine's a spirograph. You remember spirograph when we were little?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But there's a lot in actually allowing ourselves to move into the movement of the pen. It's what I call metacognitive drawing, something I do with clients. It's really just allowing to see what comes up.
Interesting.
Lovely. Lovely. Very nice.
Ah, that felt
Yeah.
really good.
Hmm. And so the reason I worked with heart, each of you can look up this up, but it's something called heart math. There's actually a lot of research which shows which breathing in and out through your heart has a lot of different benefits. I'll just leave it at that right now. So I wanted to start with that because it's a very simple and easy meditation. And then what I did, the rest of it was to really bring us into our body and different parts of our body, because we have different access to wisdom in different parts of our body. And it also just brings us into landing into our body. Often I say we're potato heads, we're walking around like this, in our minds only. So it's so important to bring us into the rest of the body as well.
Nice. So tell us also about the other things that you do, because you incorporate a lot of different therapies and just beautiful ways of helping people actualize and come to terms with.
I do. I want to hear this, but I want to ask you one last question
Yes.
on meditating, because I've had several conversations with people lately that when you say the word meditate, they're like, no way, I can't even try it. I can't even think about it. It's not. And I'm saying to myself, sometimes I start with why it's so good for them. And then I find that with certain people that it's just useless to even go there. They feel like their life is too busy, too crazy, and they can't even think of the word meditation, and they'll never try it. What do you say to your clients? Must say that to you once in a while, right?
I don't use the word meditation. I just say breathing. Simply breathe.
Ah, nice. That's a better approach.
So simple. It's just getting ourselves into our breath. And you noticed it was like you go with the natural flow, then you simply slow it down. And the optimal, they've found, particularly with heart math, and I didn't realize this till recently, is between 3 and 5, the count of 3 to 5. Mm-hmm. So if someone can't count to 5, totally fine. Just get them to slow their breath down to the count of 3. And that really is the optimal. And just do some deep breathing. That's all. And thoughts come, let them flow. I often say they're like on a log floating down a river. And so just let the log go and come back to breath. Come back to breath. And then you can add body parts as well if you want to. And that also helps people to stay focused. I often find that the in-breath is easier to stay with. It's the out-breath we often lose concentration. Because somehow when we're breathing in, it takes almost more effort to breathe in, and yet the out breath is extremely important as well. So, let the thoughts flow, come back to breath. If there's music, you can also hear the sound of the music as well.
And I think I should point out that it's not for everyone. And I think that people need to just see options of, especially when they're stressed and depressed and all. And this becomes an option for them to be more at peace and be more even in their, in their lives and what's going on in their lives. So
I love and appreciate that, Lisa. However, I really feel like it's a necessity for everybody, no matter who you are. I do, because I see the benefits. I feel the benefits.
I think it's a both and, but it's simply finding a way to be mindful and present in yourself and in the present right now. I mean, that really is what breathing and meditation is. It's really about bringing yourself into present moment. So even if you're taking a pen and you are doing what Lisa was doing, I just want to take a color here going round and round. You're doing something like, this. And you allow yourself simply to be with that shape for 30 seconds or a minute. Right? You notice I'm not even using a piece of paper that's white. It's got things on the back of it. Lisa used an envelope. That it's doing something to bring yourself into total presence. That's the key. That's really what meditation is about, is bringing yourself into presence. So no one right way. I mean, you could be going like this. You're angry, something like this. So I'm saying it doesn't have to be particularly relaxing. but it's just really bringing yourself into the present time.
Yeah, but Lisa, you're right. It's such an amazing tool, and it is an option. It is an option in a toolbox filled with many to help you get through different experiences in life that you're going through, right? Challenges.
Yes,
is
yes,
What I mean. Yeah.
yes, yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt you before. I just wanted to know more. But yes, I do want to know so much more about the different things that you do, Alyse.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of piggybacks into it because I really find out where people are at and what they need, and that's sort of the bottom line. So somebody might need to be doing this sort of thing, right? And then another person, totally the opposite. So, but I have a lot of different tools in my toolkit, EMDR, the eye movement desensitization reprocessing. It's a protocol or type of energy work, waving hands basically. But helping people work with the negatives and the positives in their life, that's something I've been doing for years. And then sometimes it's more coaching, which is much more in the present moment. People don't want to go back to the past and they don't need to. And so we're working at where are they, where do they want to go, and how they're going to get there. And then I've been using a lot more creativity recently, which is why I also did that little drawing exercise with you. Some of it's painting. This is a piece I'm working on. It's very layered, and you'll see there's a lot of symbols in it. And this keeps changing. So that's one piece I'm using. I'm just looking for her. A lot of work with the face and the image, female image, even though some people say this isn't a female, but this is a muse. So this was a weekend workshop I did with some women, and everybody painted their muse. You should have seen what people came up with, and one woman had never even painted before. So that was pretty cool. So this was my muse on that day, and she's got all sorts of symbols on her, and it was really fun. So if you think you can't do a face, you can. I sort of show you how, and there's no right or wrong way again. It's just having some fun and
Is painting a big part of your therapy?
I do some more the workshops. In my workshops, I'm using painting. In therapy, we do sometimes more drawing, just to work through some things. What I call metacognitive drawing, which is it's actually thinking about thinking, but through drawing. It's really cool.
I was in one of those workshops. Talk about those workshops more, Alyse. That was really fascinating. I enjoyed it.
But you mean what I did with you along? Oh,
Well, workshops in general, because you offer some very
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, I've got this 3-month program I ran a few months ago called Find Your Hell Yes. And so it's really a creative way to figure out where you're going, where are you, and where do you want to go, and what's important to get done. And so we were using painting with that. We're painting on a canvas and changing it every time we met. So we were doing some painting. We were working through a lot of the things that are coming up recently, in terms of uncertainty and how do we integrate that into our lives, and how do you move forward with uncertainty. So that's one thing I've been doing. And then I, also do psychotherapy, where there's some really deep healing work. Use aspects, do some Kabbalah healing, which is some hands-on and not necessarily hands-on healing. So a whole range of things.
I think did I see you have another workshop coming up soon?
I do. I had one this afternoon, actually.
It's this afternoon. Okay.
Creating the next chapter of your life. Shop. So
is there still room for people to?
Absolutely. If they hear about it and they want to come on this afternoon, yep, it's at 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's right. I knew it was coming, and it's actually on my calendar. So I've been too busy this morning to look on the calendar, but I knew it was coming soon.
Yeah.
Why don't you give everyone your contact information, Alyse?
Sure. So it's my name. So it's Alyse at AlyseParise.com. That's ALYSE, P for Peter, ARISE.com.
Nice. And phone number? Do you do phone number too?
Yeah, my office number is 631-689-6272.
Okay. And do you use an email as well?
Yeah, that's Alyse at AlyseParise.com.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a website too about?
My website is AlyseParise.com.
Okay. Okay.
My existing, it will be changing in the next few months. But yeah,
Okay.
find me there.
You do such amazing work, Alyse.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful knowing you.
Well, it's been good to know you over the years, Lisa, and Susan more recently, and the work you're doing for bereavement and end of life is so, so important. I've worked with hospice way back,
Mm.
and you know, it's really important work. And of course, I have clients who've lost loved ones, and yeah.
Yeah, it was so nice to see you just a few weeks ago, and you did that presentation that I watched and I sat through, and it was a lot longer than today's, but it was just phenomenal, phenomenal. And there was a room filled with women that, you could tell the difference that it makes, when you finish doing something like that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Nice.
So we just bring a little love to ourselves and to the
Mhm.
world, and that's what's important here, you know.
It is. It is. We thank you so much for what you do and how you change people's lives.
And the same to both of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being here today, Alyse.
Yep. And Sue and I do a few things as well. Right, Sue?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, right? So
Tell us about your life. Tell us about your life story work.
My life story. You mean your life story, not my life story. Your
That's
life
right.
story.
That's right.
Specializing in creative legacy work is really to help you leave your story and memories for future generations, the ones that you'll never get a chance to meet, right? There's over 15 million people right now on Ancestry.com that are searching for that connection, for that validation, and their roots and who they are. And unfortunately, our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents really didn't think about it and didn't leave these things in writing. So that's something that I started doing with my end-of-life clients. And it's kind of snowballed now into healthy and vibrant people as well, mainly baby boomers, turning seniors or seniors, and they really want to get all their stories and experiences down. So it's a 4-week project where we work together in a Zoom room, just like this, like we're speaking now. And then I take all their recorded audio and I transform it, because I'm a writer, and I transform it into their book, in their words. So it's as if they're writing their own story. And I include a lot of text in that as well. And it's a hardcover book with the pages can't rip. So they're really thick, like those new wedding albums that they make for people. And it's something that, will go on for decades and decades, and hopefully hundreds and hundreds of years. So we will learn more about our family history.
Nice.
And
Beautiful
I
gift.
do other things as well, but that's a fun project that I've been working on.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And Lisa,
Yeah.
we know you have your books.
I do. I have 2 books dedicated to pancreatic cancer, and support for people who have lost people, and it doesn't have to be that disease. And it really is about moving on with your life. And all the funds go to the Les Garten Foundation. In addition, I'm a bereavement specialist, and I've done some widowers groups. And what I like to do is more than just chat and talk about our feelings. I like doing activities that lead people onward. So that's sort of one of my specialties. I like doing that, and of course, individual work as well. And I know you have a few books too, Susan.
Yeah, they're available on Amazon. You can just research Susan Capurso. But there are a couple of end-of-life books, and Remember Me, the Story of My Life, that enables you to write in your story with my prompts.
And of course, we have our workshop, What Does a Dying Person Want? Really beautiful, sensitive workshop that we did almost a year ago. It was pretty amazing, the kind of response that we got. And then your workshops are also on eastend.academy.
Right.
So we're busy
So this
people.
was wonderful today.
This is really nice. Very
Wonderful.
nice.
Thank you, Alyse, for joining us and for sharing your expertise in this such an important tool in your toolbox. Right?
Yeah. Yes. Wish you well, and happy holidays, of course, to you and your family. Great seeing you again, Alyse.
Everybody. Thanks
Thank
so much.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Susan.
you.
Lisa.
Bye.
Okay, bye.